Do you want cash on? Oh, yes. They're all tenner each.
Hi and welcome, I'm Shirley and this is Crazy Cat Lady Stitches, and if you're new to my channel, a big hello, and if you're a return viewer, thank you very much for your love and support. And today I'm going to talk about something that I have never done before, I've never been before, and I was really lucky that it was only 12 minutes down the road and at a local hotel, and I've never been to one before. As I said, I've never been to one before, and that is a cross stitch retreat. Now this was held over the weekend of the 29th and 30th of July. It was held at Rotherham in the Holiday Inn. It was absolutely splendid. I was really nervous the night before. I was jittery and couldn't sleep very well. Got up, got ready, got all my whips ready, got all the equipment I stitched. I didn't know what I needed, so I probably took more than I should have. And I went along to this retreat. This retreat was held by Floss Friends UK and was instigated and ran by Sami from Little Hoops Stitching here on YouTube, and Andrea, who has a Instagram account which I'll put the details on down below when I find it. And there was a huge amount of ladies and gentlemen there. More ladies and gentlemen, but there were gentlemen there, which was really good. It was a really friendly atmosphere. Everyone got on with everyone. It was really nice, it was friendly, it was relaxing. And I met quite a few people, and I had my first recognition as a YouTuber. Little old me recognised. But yes, in fact the room was half full of YouTubers, so it's not surprising there was a YouTuber there or two. In fact, on our table there were several, and I have to thank those lovely ladies that made the weekend so well. There was Rachael from Talking Dog Stitches, there was Jenny from Silver Bunny Stitches, there was Joe, who only lives down the road from me, and we never knew that we were avid stitchers, so that is really nice. Claire, Where the Needle Wanders on Instagram, Heather, and Michelle, which I think is, she's got a tag of Michelle69 on Instagram, don't quote me, and Sophie, and I think there was maybe another one, but we'll see. I think it got confusing because we did jump around. Some people jumped around a little bit, so you were talking to people. Me personally, I stayed put. I did go round and did a little chat and a little look-see around all other people's work, but I was too nervous to do anything more. But I have seen a couple of pieces that have enabled me, and I'll talk about those in another video. Right, so with this retreat, I have got some footage of the Sunday when I walked in. There were vendors there and I spent a fortune. I'll show you what I bought. I think my husband is going to, when he realises, when he tots up the bank this month, because between that and the enabling, I have spent quite a bit. So yeah, it was really, really good, and nice to see all the other stitches. I met Big Mama Loves You GB. I met Kayla and Loran at Stitching with My Little Litty. Stitching with My Little Little. It was really, really good. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying hard not to scratch my hands. I have got a severe case of contact dermatitis, which really has affected my life in the last few months. And the first thing I did was go and find Lisa from ATELIER Frames. I took 2 old pieces that were 30 years old. One of them is the Dragon and the Castle by Teresa Wensler that my dad hijacked, and I wanted it to be framed to protect it. And there's another one that I finished in 1998, and because of the shape of the stitching I couldn't frame it myself, so I'll stick the photographs up of those that I sent to the framers. And then also I took, you might notice there's a big space here, my geisha lady, and I showed it on the brag table, but I was talking to Lisa and saying how I had to take it out, give it a little brush up, and the frame, the matting was warping, so she said she'd take it, put some glass in and fix that for me. So brilliant. So I've got those 3 away at the framers, and then I went around shopping. Now shopping and me, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go through because all my projects are now in project bags that I bought at the retreat, and they are the ones that I took to the retreat. So first one I'm going to get is this one. This was part of the treat summer bag, which I'll show you the contents of later, but this was one of them, and this was from Little Loops, which is Sam, and inside it I've got my new start that I started at the retreat. Now I went on Saturday and had a very good day, came back home to find my cotton and twine box had arrived. So what I'm doing for my retreat, because the retreat theme was summer and summer holidays, and I thought this was really apt, so I started this the wind or a cat, I don't know what. I started this cotton and twine designed by Little Doves, this design here, and I stitched it. And what I stitched at the retreat is basically, I did that on half of that on Saturday night, and then I did the rest at the retreat, and this is what I've done since. This is my hour a day or a strand a day, depending how I'm feeling, so I can get it done quicker than having it sit around, because I've got tons of cotton and twine that I need to get a move on with. So that is like an hour a day if I'm not working, and perhaps a strand a day, a strand of thread a day if I'm actually working and I haven't got a lot of time. So that is my first project. Now I bought this bag. This is one of 4 that I've bought from Andrea. Let's have a look at the bag. And I bought it because it fits my Nurge frames. Now this is my Nightingale. This is a new start this year. I started this, I wanted to start it on the 12th of May, which was International Nurses Day. Nightingale, nurses, see a theme. So I took this along and I managed to get some stitching done. That's her at the moment. I haven't done any stitching since the retreat, but I've managed to fill in all this blank area, and I have started to fill in this front bit here where I've walked onto some water lily threads, Caron's water lilies. So that's how I am with this at the moment. It's stitched on 32 count, and it is, the fabric is rainbow. So this is my Nightingale, and this is what I took. I have to move grime guards around, but she's in there nice and protected, and I will get a move on with her on Mondays when I'll get my Mirabilia out. I've got 3 Mirabilias and 1 Bella Filipina on the go, plus a lavender and lace. So I don't want to do any more ladies just yet, but you never say never. Not with Shirley and her new starts. Excuse me for going down here. I've just got a pile of them. I'll get the next 2. These 2 are also from Andrea, and there's a front. And the reason I picked them out together, the Modern Folk Embroidery, and these I am sort of working on at the moment. These are my Saturday samplers when I'm not working or working half a shift or anything. This first one is a restart in June. Let me take the grime card off so you can see. This is Fruits of Plenty. Now originally I was doing it on 18 count Delft with variegated Delft thread, 1, 2, 1, and I have now moved it to match my current self this year, and so I'm working on both of these, and I am using Gutermann Sulky on both. Let me just have a look. I've got tons of this. I've got about 8, so I've got plenty. And this is the light one. And which one is it saying? Made in Italy. Gutermann. It's 12 weight, and it doesn't actually say the colours, but one's variegated and one's grey, and those are the colours I'm using on both projects. So that's the first one. Let's tidy it back up. I'll put it back in here. Yes, so Andrea got a lot of money off me at the retreat, and I told her the next time I buy something I want a discount. Just put that there for the moment. And the next one I got is, as I said, is also from Andrea. Isn't it lovely? And purple is my colour. And this is Skyward. This is on a Q-snap. And that is how much I've done so far, but unfortunately I've got to frog up here, because some here I was working my way down here and it sort of miscounted somewhere, so I'm going to start from the top and work my way back down again. It's the easiest way to do it. This is one of the alternative patterns for the centre, and I'll see how I go on, whether I alternate with the alternatives or keep to the pattern. I'm using Markup RXP for my digital designs, and it's on both my phone for emergencies or small projects and on my iPad. Right, camera decided that it's reached its limits. Now this is another one I bought. Not sure if this was Andrea. Yeah, I think this was one of Andrea's as well. I bought a lot of Andrea's. Oh. No, these 2 I bought off another seller. I can't remember the names, so I do apologise, but I will put the link down to the sellers. and I took this piece of black work, which I didn't get around to doing. I've done some since I've come back, but I didn't get around to doing a lot on that one. In fact, I found it very difficult to concentrate because I was having such a good time chatting, talking about different patterns and having a look at the stash table, seeing if there's anything that you wanted from the stash table. Now this one I did take as well because it was one that I've been working on. And it is, you can see I've done a bit of frogging on this one as well. This is Pandemic. This is another restart that I did at the end of June. I don't know why, but I totally, oops, let's get it the right way around. I totally hated working on the opalescent linen. So this is Fabric Flare white, and I'm just going to work my way slowly across and do it. I think it might join the BLACKWORK Friday selection because I've got a couple of actual black works and a couple of stitches that are completely black. So it's black work. It just gives me a break from things, and it gives me a lot of gives me a lot more variation. Especially if I've got a day of stitching, I can do a stitch, a couple of 100 stitches on one and then move on to another and then on to another. It depends how I feel. Sometimes I can spend a whole day stitching on one item. Excuse me while I go back that down. Yes, and this is being stitched with, I should say, DMC Pearl 12 weight, which is brilliant because it gives absolute coverage, and it's 1/2 on there. And then for some of the back stitching, the finer back stitching, I'm using 310 DMC thread. So that's that one. I'm just putting them out of the way. I took my Emma Louise Charlestown. This is a new start. I think I might have picked a needle up and looked at it, started at a thread, and then thought, no, I'll think about that one. So as I said, this was a new start in June, and the reason I chose this Emma Louise one is because Charlestown is very close to where I grew up. I have lots of fun memories as a scout, canoeing around there, and as a youngster, well, a young person, walking from Porthbyen down to Charlestown, from Charlestown to Kayla Bay in the summer, and think nothing of the distance, and then perhaps even walk home or to the nearest bus stop. And some of that sometimes was barefooted because my flip-flops broke. So yeah, that has happy memories. Now the next one, this is also an Andrea one, and it's lots of little houses, and it's blue. And inside this I have got my Dutch Tiles black work. This is by Peppermint Purple, is the designer. It's on 28, I think it's 28 linen, even weave. And this is how much I'm for. And I was working on this flower, and for the life of me it would not go right. I was frogging it, wouldn't go right, frogging it, wouldn't go right. When I got home, I realised I was stitching in the wrong thread. So the universe was telling me, Shirley, the wrong thread. So therefore I've completed that square, and I've got another couple of squares, and I might be doing that later today. I've got a online stitching session this evening, so probably this one might come out. Wow! So those are the projects I took with me. Some I worked on, some I didn't. But there was great fun as well. I took a couple items for the brag table, as I said. That's a quick show. I'll show you the brag table now. There's 2 days, so I'll just limit them, have a little bit of music, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what was in the retreat bag. I hope you enjoyed that little tour around the brag table. Oh, and I bought also a little purse art thing from Stitch Mania Stash, Michelle, who was also there stitching. And this is a little bag. It just clips undone. Pull it through and you can put your bits and bobs in. I think I've got some bit of arts in. and you can either use this as I'm doing now, as an alt bag. If you just watch that, you just pull that down and put the magnet, but you could also use it as a little purse or a little notions bag. It's just that, but that was from Stitch Mania and I do adore that. Also in the bag that we got from Sami is this, an treat exclusive pattern, Paris in Love. And Sami had already emailed us the digital pattern, so we've got that. She said if you didn't want to see what's in the bag, don't look at the email. And we received another one, Strawberry Cottage, which is nice, which will make another little cushion, I think. And the pattern's in there. Yeah. And then we've got Explore the Unseen. All these have got DMC threads in, so it'll be easy to get. And then we have got On the Beach, Sandy Toes and Sun-Kissed Nose. This is where I had a piece of yellow even weave which has disappeared. Where it's disappeared to, I don't know. It's in the house, but I've got a sneaking suspicion Mr. Sam, as our veterinary nurse likes to call him, might have sneaked off with it and put it somewhere. He's a right crafty cat. The other day I was stitching on my pandemic, and you know I've got the balls of twine, the balls of sky. Well, anyway, I've got the balls that I'm stitching with, the colour, and he saw it and he picked it up. I picked it off him, put it in the bag. He only then went and put his nose in the bag and fished one out, so I had to chase him around the living room to get it back. Luckily it wasn't unravelled, or else I would have cursed him. But that is that. And then this came to do one of the oh, there's Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam, you're going to come and say hello to everyone? Come on. Oh, say hello. Hey, say hello. Haven't you grown? Haven't you grown? Yes, Mr. Sam. Are you going up there? Onto your perch? Yeah. So yeah, that's Mr. Sam for you, sneaking in. So what was I saying? This orange thing for one of the On the Beach to finish it off, but I've got a more feeling that I'm going to use it for, oh, Mr. Sam. Oh, decided he didn't want to be up there. And excuse me while I let him out, he's decided that he can't get out. Gets in the house, into the room, pushes the door, and when he can't get out, he tries to pull the carpet up, which makes it even harder for him to pull the door open. So yeah, these I'm going to, I've got an idea to do a stitch with one of my Halloween projects I've got in mind. Whether it be this year or next year, I don't know, but I have got one in mind. We also got this little nudge type hoop, and then we got this little, wouldn't it? See anything else in it? Nope. This little notion bag. So we've got another notion bag, and inside I have got the special retreat badge, needle minder badge, but it's a needle minder and it's a nice big one, which will be nice for when I'm parking, and it's a decent magnet there. We got a melon tape measure, which is always handy to have one at hand. We also got these nice little scissors with a scissor fob, and they are nice and sharp. We've got some, oh, what do you call them? Tags that you put your silks in and your embroidery stuff in, which is nice if you're kitting up from a kit and they're not so good, the ones that are on the kit, and they tear, so that is nice to have on hand. Got some little stickies to put in a diary or a book. I've somehow mislaid my days of the year, so that's not been filled in, but I have started a project where I am journaling all my projects that I've got on the go onto the computer and saving it into the cloud, so I have got more chance of seeing what I've got and what I haven't got. And I also spent an afternoon sorting out my patterns into folders, because while I was on retreat, hubby decided that this would be a nice dumping ground for everything. So when I came in originally to film this, I had to clear it all out and tidy up, and then I decided fell into the rabbit hole of tidying up and being tidy, so hence this video is a bit later than I planned. Right, next I've also got, and you can never have too many needle minders, some needle minders. I'll have a couple of projects that these can go on, because I'm always losing I am notorious for losing my needle. It's unbelievable. I even lost a needle at the retreat and I couldn't find it. And there's also a little bag tag which I could put on here, and that is it, I think. So that's everything that I have got from, not everything. Let me just come back. Ah, there it is. I found what I was looking for. Now, they had a de-stash table, and I was looking at several things. At the end of the day, there were several items left, so I acquired these. So the first one is a Permin needlework. It's 16 count, and I have a habit of moving my Ada onto even width. I prefer it, especially if there's quarter stitches. So I'll have a look when I open this to see what stitches they are. And then there was this one. It's a bit dark and moody, but I'm sure we had some fun with this at some point. And it's the DMC, and it's Pollyanna Pickering Collections in the Forests of the Night Tigre. So that's that one. That looks quite interesting to think, and it looks a bit confetti, so that'll be fun to do. So that is all I've got to show you on this retreat. As I said, I had a fantastic time, met some fantastic people. I've already booked for 2 retreats next year, and I also have booked tickets for the Big Stitch event that is being held at Magna just outside Rotherham, so it's local to me again, and it's brilliant because Jacob's going to be there and some other well-known stitchers and designers, so I'm greatly looking forward to that. And I will see you in my next video, which will be my update from when I last videoed on my update to now. So there's going to be quite a bit in there. So until then, take care, look after yourself and keep stitching. Bye for now.